the Ascended Cast. I'm back here with the man himself, the legend, Mr. Clint.
Hello.
We also got another special guest over here. I don't know if we can get him over here.
No, he's on the couch.
He's on the couch. He's watching his Miss Rachel. Julian Kemmock. You remember that name? Remember that name, Julian Kemmock.
Juice right now. He's good.
All right, so no Shiloh, no Matt, but I feel like this is a better guest right here.
Thank you very much.
I have a good guest on here. So we've been having him on here before.
One time.
You know a little bit of your background already.
Yeah, I don't even remember that podcast.
I remember we talked about you and Adrian.
And I remember my dog breaking into
a Corona. Yeah. And I think Julian came in on that one too.
Of course. But that's
Eric hopped it on that too.
Eric came in at the end and just started bashing the Angels.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's get started with the Angels.
All right.
We just got a W.
4-1.
4-1.
Happy Sunday.
2 in a row. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
I would not want to have any other Sunday than watching
Angels
Mike
baseball.
Trout hit dingers.
All day.
That's what I love to see. Almost a cycle.
Almost a cycle.
Almost a cycle.
No triple. That's okay.
All right, well, let's talk about it. We're looking good so far. We've had some rough patches, but for the first time in a long time, how are you feeling about this team?
It's never good to get your hopes up early in the season, but through almost a month and a half of baseball, we're better than we've been in the last 10 years, so there's no reason not to be a little excited about it. We finally have a little bit of pitching. Our bats are fire. Most home runs in the MLB. Got the cowboy hat going.
Oh, I love the cowboy hat. The cowboy hats.
The vibes are immaculate.
Yeah. I love the cowboy hat. So, we look at pitching, because pitching's probably been our Achilles heel the past 5-6 years. What do you think has finally changed? I mean, obviously we have Ohtani. We signed Noah Syndergaard. Sandoval's looking good. But, I mean, the bullpen just looks a lot more confident. What do you feel like that's changed?
It's just considerably better than it's been before. It's not that it's one or two people that are making it better. It's the fact that we're not signing people that are 10 years out of their prime, like Tim Lincecum and Matt Harvey, and people that had no business even being on the team. We're giving contracts to.
Yeah.
With people that are actually
Matt Shoemaker.
I wouldn't say Matt Shoemaker gets a break. The man just threw a lot of home runs. But we're not signing like insane. I don't know how to put it, like top tier guys, but we signed a bunch of people that are able to get the job done. Like it's not one or two guys that actually that we're leaning on to do everything. It's everybody plays a part in it and it all gets done.
No, I agree to that. Like I said, I was a big fan of the Syndergaard signing.
Yeah, Thor.
And a lot of people, Thor. A lot of people were kind of just like, oh, well, he's coming off injury. You don't know what you're going to get with him.
You don't.
And I think that was a good signing. We only have him on 1 year. But from what we've seen so far right now, like I want to get it back. Just to be cold, we had some Stone Cold, Broken Skull,
Steve
Weisers for this podcast.
Shout out to the man.
We're not sponsored, but we're good. We're good to still support the brands. Good man. Steve, if you want to talk, we could talk.
Please. But yeah, bullpen looks strong. Rizal had a couple of rough games, but bounced back today. Good W.
Yeah, Tapara looked good too.
Good save. Tapara had a big eighth. Sandoval had 7.177. Jesus, I sound like Shiloh. 7 strong innings.
So Shiloh does that when he's lying.
What?
Yeah. We got a game coming for Shiloh. So when Shiloh goes back, Shiloh's at EDC right now.
Happy birthday, Shiloh.
Happy birthday, Shiloh.
Happy birthday, Shiloh.
But Shiloh only does that when he's capped.
I didn't know that. Factor cap, Shiloh Heard.
Factor cap. We're going to have that coming to you. So there's going to be a backstory behind it. But going back to Angels, I think, like I said, we have a lot of guys in the bullpen right now that are doing we have a lot of young guys. So we have Diaz. We have...
Diaz is young. Rodriguez is still hurt. Rodriguez is there. Archie Bradley's a little bit older, but Tapara's young.
Yeah, Herder.
That's what I was going to say. Herder, the Joe Kelly knockoff.
Yeah, the Joe Kelly great value.
Great value Joe Kelly. That's fine with me.
And then who's Detmers is looking good. Detmers
3-0 hitter.
No hitter. He's looked so far so good.
Was the first player of the 2020 draft to play in an MLB game? Or was the 2021 draft? It was one of those two drafts. He's the first player to be in an MLB game.
I think so.
That's something in its own, and we've had players that we've called up like Griffin Canning the year before, and Jose Suarez, who we pulled up and thought they were going to be one of the young pitchers to lead us to something, and it's not looking that way. It's not looking that way.
Oh, Suarez had his moments. Suarez has had a consistency.
Suarez, I do not have any faith in that man whenever he gets
There's just no consistency, yeah.
There's no consistency.
There's our young King Julian.
Hey, buddy.
But, so going back into that, okay, so pitching, we've gone over pretty well. So one of the big things that we kind of talk about is Taylor Ward. Bro. Taylor Ward looks good.
Taylor Ward he's just one of those people. Apparently, after 7 years in the MLB, you can figure it out year 8.
Yeah. And I mean, he's bombing well. He's batting, over 350 right now?
I have no idea.
Probably batting over 350 right now. He's batting
over 300 for sure. He's hit as many home runs as Trout and insane RBIs, and he plays a good right field. So there's nothing really more you can want.
Yeah. So going into that now, we look at the young guns that we have, the kind of future of the outfield. You got Joe Adell, who got sent back down to AAA, and you have Brandon Marsh, who's still on the team, has looked better.
Brandon Marsh doesn't have a great bat right now, but I know when a ball gets hit to left field that he's not going to go over his head. He's not going to throw it 20 feet away from home base. I know the man's not a bad fielder. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and I'll say he's not a bad fielder, not a great fielder yet, but you need reps. He needs reps.
He is what he is.
So then what about Joe Adell? Well, how do you feel about Joe Adell? I've kind of looked at Joe Adell, and I think for a couple of years now we thought this guy could be the future, and it just seems like he kind of stays in that same realm of who he is. He's a great hitter, off and on. He's kind of a boomer bust hitter.
But God bless, whenever he's left and something gets hit to left field, he just knows something's coming.
Yeah.
Something great's not about
And I look back at that White Sox series, and I'm just like, those are games that we could have won.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put the blame. It's unfair to put the blame on him. Yeah. But there were some plays that
almost
he could make.
Almost 3 runs single-handedly on that man's hands.
Yeah.
And it's hard when it's the first inning and that stuff happens.
I think we're below interference here. But but going back into Adell, what do you think? Do you think he figured it out, or do you think he's a trade piece?
So. I think he's traded at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I think just like Eric said, he goes retraded to the A's for Mustas? Montes.
Yeah.
Montes had a great game against us a week ago, so.
Yeah, like I said, I've know what to expect from him. So for me, I don't wish anything dependent on the guy, but if he didn't come back or if he got traded, I wouldn't be mad about it.
He's not something I'm going to miss. Which sucks because he was on the farm system for so many years. He promised something great for so many years, but.
All right, so then looking at this team right now, you think this is a playoff team?
100%.
100%? You're a full send?
100%. If we don't make the playoffs this year, I don't know what I'm going to do. I told you in the offseason that I wasn't buying in, and now I'm 100%.
I'm bought in. I'm bought in.
If we don't make the playoffs,
I'm bought in.
62 get beat by the Astros, so we don't make the playoffs.
That would be rough. But we're 9 games above 500 now, right?
9 games.
9 games above 500. We haven't been there in a long time. No. I think
not this deep into the season.
No, but in the group match, I think we're talking about it. We haven't been to the playoffs since we were in high school.
2014. I went to game 1 against the Royals.
You were there?
I went to game 1 against the Royals, yeah.
And
we lost.
That meltdown?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game. I think it was like the 8th or 9th inning, but the Royals, I think the Royals hit a home run in like the 8th, and they went up 5-4, and that was it. I think Jeff Mathis was our catcher. But you know who was on that team that I still hate to this day? Matt Joyce.
Oh, Matt Joyce.
Man. That guy blew it.
Matt Joyce.
I got nothing more to say about that, man. That's all I got about that, man.
Yeah, I don't know about to say about Matt Joyce.
Trout didn't have a great series, but leading the league in wins with 99 wins and then getting swept in the divisional round by a wild card team.
And that team goes on to win.
I mean, it's good that they went on and won. I feel a little bit better that was their year. Was it that year or was it the year after that?
I think it was that year. Because that was 2014. Because 20 was 2015. Or was it the year after?
It was either them or the Giants in 2015.
No, it was the Giants.
Was it the
It
Giants?
was Giants because the Giants 2010, 2012, 2014.
Yeah.
So that was 2015.
The
Yeah.
Giants had a dynasty for like 5 years. That was a Baumgartner.
Baumgartner. But yeah, so playoffs are busts then with this team right now. That's where it's at.
Has to be playoffs.
I think
playoffs
so.
It's a wasted season. Another year, the Mike Trout gets older. Another year, the Shohei Ohtani doesn't want to be with us anymore.
That's it. So another quick.
Does Shohei resign?
I hope so.
Is it this year or is it next year?
So this is where it becomes like a numbers thing. I think it's whoever financially makes more sense for the Angels. Is that they resign him this year? Do they add on to the contract, or is it a new contract?
So he's still with us through next year.
He's still with us through next year. So what I'm curious at the language of challenge is if he's with us next year on the same deal, then yeah, I think they resign him this year. But then if Shohei wants it to where he gets money next year,
give the man whatever he wants.
I would
give the man whatever he wants.
Whatever money that's going to cost you to keep him, you're making in Japan.
You're making it in America.
Yeah.
You've seen that guy on TikTok tear how many times?
Yeah.
162 games. This man's been to 42 out of 42 games.
Look how much his stuff, the giveaways last year.
40,000 people were at the game.
Yeah.
Two Wednesdays ago. On a Wednesday night.
On Wednesday
40,000 people were at the game.
Clint didn't get his bobblehead. Clint didn't get his bobblehead.
No hitter.
No hitter.
That's all I'm going to say.
No hitter. And Clint didn't get his no hitter, Julian. What do you know about no hitter?
Hi. Not cool. Is that a war?
Julian, are you Angels or bust this year? Nah, he don't want to say it yet.
And that was Julian.
That was Julian.
But I think it is at the end of the day you have to think playoff or bust. That's what this whole team's thinking of, and you can tell that this team this year there is something different about it than there has been in years before.
I agree. Yeah.
There's a different type of fire. Like these people.
I like the commodity.
The players fight.
Yeah.
Like we're never out of any games until it's actually over.
I like the commodity. I think just seeing the guys kind of all rally around each other, like when they get home runs.
Yeah.
Or even when Denver got that no hitter.
Everybody stayed out for his post game interview, and you see like even last night after the show is over, the game's over, everybody and their families are together watching the country. Josh Turner concert. Like,
so that's good to see. I think they have a good foundation.
Like I think it's an actual team, not just a bunch of players playing together. Like we're an actual team this year.
That's a great foundation to have. Good foundation to have.
Because we don't make the playoffs.
It'll be rough. It'll be rough.
And who knows? Maybe it goes downhill, and all of a sudden we're 10 games under 500.
Mike Trout gets hurt. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not saying that.
I blame you, Reed. You hear that, Reed? I blame you.
If that happens,
I blame you, Reed. I need jersey buying.
Oh yeah. All right, so then let's go ahead and transition over. So talking about teams, Chargers. I'm a big Chargers fan.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Me and Shiloh have been talking a lot about just post-draft, schedule release. But how are you feeling so far, post-draft, post-schedule release, post-free agency, about this team?
I think I'm going to throw another bet on them to win the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I did it last year. I'm going to do it again this year until it hits.
So I'll say this, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, but I'm looking at that SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Hey.
Not SummerSlam. Money in the Bank. Yeah. Shoot, if we go there, I might have to put some more money down.
Let's do it. We're running the Luxor back up, bro.
We're running
the Luxor back up.
But yeah, I've liked what they've done. I've talked about it a couple times with Shiloh, but I think depth-wise, this is probably and when I say deep, I don't mean like most talent-wise, but we have guys that can fill in and give us good snaps.
Well, and it's also our best team that we've had in years.
Yeah.
We've never, when did Rivers tear his ACL against the Patriots? 2007.
Yeah.
We haven't had a team like that since here. We have a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. We have a top 10 running back, top 7 arguably. Keenan Allen's a top 10 receiver. Mike Williams, if he can do what he did last year, top 10
20
receiver.
I'll say top 20.
Even if he does what he did again last year, though, you have to put him in the conversation for moving up from that.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, yes, but if he's able to replicate what he did last year, then you also have Jalen Guyton who can run.
Josh Palmer.
Josh Palmer's good, and he just needs some reps. And what tight end did we sign?
Gerald Everett.
Veteran.
Veteran. We still have Trey McKitty, Donald Parham, so
Parham.
the offense is there.
The
We know
offense is
we can
there.
score.
And the defense is there too, but we need to see what our rush defense looks like compared to last year, because if we had a downfall last year, it was definitely our rush defense.
And I look at it and I just like I think they've stored up on the defensive line. It's like Morgan
100%.
Fox, Sebastian J.
100%.
Joseph, Austin Johnson.
They didn't not do their best. They're filling holes.
Yeah, Khalil Mack.
We traded Khalil Mack, gave the Bears almost nothing.
Yeah.
Give him a second round pick, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was all it was. And Khalil Mack is older, yes, and he hasn't been playing a ton because he was injured, yes. But if you even get 85% of what Khalil Mack was before.
But this is what I really like is they go and sign Kyle Van Noy. So it's like
backup.
Khalil Mack doesn't have to play freaking the whole entire game. Joey Bosa doesn't have to play the whole entire game. It's like you can put that guy. Yeah, you can put that guy in there.
Rotate out. We don't have people like
Nwosu wasn't bad. Kyler Fackler,
for sure, but it's just a different beast when you have Kyle Van Noy, who's done it at this level very, very well.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion.
And Khalil Mack, who's done it very, very well. And Joey Bosa, who's a top 3 pass rusher in the league. 3 or 4.
Joey Bosa is one of those guys who's underappreciated. Get the Joey Bosa. But yeah, Joey Bosa is going to be one of those guys I think is underrated. I think
he just fights every single time. He's got a fire in his ass.
I think, and if you ask the offensive linemen, they're getting ready for Joey Bosa. So you're going to have a battle the entire game.
But now the thing is, like last year, where Joey Bosa's not going to get triple teamed every play because you also have to worry about Khalil Mack because he is there.
But I like what I really like is the corner. J.C. Jackson, obviously great signing. J.C. Jackson is going to be great. Mr. INT. But then Bryce Callahan too.
Yeah, Bryce Callahan. We still have Asante Samuel back there at safety.
Michael Davis.
Michael Davis playing the slot. That man can just sit there all day. Yeah. He's a very athletic guy.
You have Nas. You still have Derwin back there.
Nas is going to take a back seat this year to Asante Jr.
You think so?
100%.
But he still has good ball skills. Still good. Good range.
Just saying, but he will be a back.
But we have plenty back there now. We have plenty back there to where in years past. I feel like the secondary. If one guy went out, you're just like, oh, here we go. Yeah, shoot. Okay, here we go.
Somebody's going to get hurt and somebody's going to win. But if we stay healthy, I don't see us losing, not winning less than 12 games.
How do you feel about the schedule?
I think that the Chargers are the best social media team in the world.
Oh, okay. So I brought so much out last time. that anime thing was amazing.
At first I saw it and I was like, oh, God, an anime schedule release. Yeah. But then they throw the Urban Meyer meme in there. That one of the Cleveland Browns where they're like, our legal team said not to talk about this.
Our lawyers said this is a no-go.
Our lawyers said not to bring this one up. And if we were half as good as our social media team, we'd win the Super Bowl every year.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
But going back to it, 12 games. What does that put us, 12-5?
Yeah, it would be 12-5, yeah.
I feel like 13-4 wins the division though, because
I
don't know either.
This is the crazy thing I look at too is we're playing the NFC. The whole division is playing the NFC West.
So you have Cardinals, you have Seahawks, you have Rams, and you have Cardinals
and Niners.
Yeah, and Niners. Those are 5 decent teams, except for the Seahawks. Seahawks are not on the same level as those other 4 teams, but. Even with the Cardinals, because Cardinals don't have D-Hop for the first 6 weeks, Kyler Murray still has no idea what he's doing with Arizona.
They have Marquise Brown though. They made that trade. I like that for that offense. I like that pick.
Marquise Brown can't catch a deep ball. What does that team do besides throw deep balls? With Chase Edmonds up the middle. Yeah. But Chase Edmonds is gone, isn't he?
Who?
Chase Edmonds. Who's with Miami?
Yeah. So it's James Conner's team. Yeah. It's James Conner's team.
But I don't know. I don't think Marquise Brown is this marquee wide receiver that everybody's really paying attention to.
Is still AJ Green there?
AJ Green's there, and his prime is behind him. Yes,
yeah.
That man's still going to give you 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. 100%.
Okay,
100%.
Good take. But yeah, I think our division. I think it's going to come down to the division record.
Be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's going to be a division record. Whoever can steal 2 games from the team. I think I told Michelle before.
The Chiefs are still going to be good.
Yeah,
I don't care if they lost.
I think that they did a great job on the draft. I think they did a great job.
Killed the draft.
Yeah. I think us and them did a good job in the draft.
The reason that they're good is because they killed the draft. They didn't sign Travis Kelce.
No.
They didn't sign Tyreek Hill. They didn't sign Patrick Mahomes. They drafted those men.
Yeah.
Even look at the center that they had last year.
Oh, yeah. Creed Humphreys?
Yeah,
Creed Humphreys, yeah.
Looks like Dwight Schrute's Amish cousin.
But it's gonna be just a dogfight in there. We got opened up with the Raiders that first game.
Revenge game.
Revenge game.
Revenge
But
game.
what's crazy is we go Thursday night to Kansas City.
The next week?
That same, so the short week. So we play Sunday Raiders.
We play Sunday
and then Thursdays,
at Kansas City?
Yeah. That's tough.
We're losing one of those games.
It's tough.
We're losing one of those games.
All right, so this is the point where I feel like we got to shit on Adrian.
Yeah.
So Adrian
can't make a podcast.
So Adrian was supposed to be Julian, I feel the same way. Adrian was supposed to be here. We were supposed not be here, but Zoom with him. We were gonna do a little podcast, simply talking about wrestling. But unfortunately, he got a cold. Didn't feel too well. So it's me and Clint on the Clint show. And Clint, how do you feel about this? Your boy just dipping out. Typical, right? You texted me, you're like, typical. I was surprised.
Adrian's involved.
Just completely getting out of it.
Can't show up.
Is this a normal habit?
I'm not going to shit on this man the whole time. But
but
whenever important events come up, Adrian's like, I don't know, I feel sick. And it just happened. Adrian caught a cold this weekend.
But
he'll be back next week.
He will be back
next week. I'll be back next week.
So we were going to talk a little bit of wrestling. So me, Adrian, Clint, we're all, I'll say probably more so Adrian. Adrian's probably the biggest wrestling. Adrian's like hardcore wrestling.
Adrian's got the most time to pay attention to it.
Yeah. Me and you like kind of watch.
I pay attention to the pay-per-views. I don't even really pay attention too much to AEW. I don't have another time in my life to even. I'm trying to keep track of two different operations and two different businesses.
I'm very much like a social media fault, like
huge,
watcher.
So I'll watch it on social media and I'll see what's going on, but I can't pay attention.
You can't watch every single
and I can't watch because what's wrestling now? It's Monday. It's when's Dynamite? Wednesday.
A Wednesday.
And then SmackDown on Friday.
And then Tuesday is NXT. But there's like wrestling every single week, so there's so much every day.
And then AEW even has Rampage for an hour.
On Friday, yeah.
Yeah. So in what world am I going to be able to watch any sort of that much? I'm a huge pay-per-view guy. There's a pay-per-view on. I'm watching it live every time.
It's not even pay-per-view anymore. It's premium events.
It is a premium event.
You don't pay to per view anymore. You pay Peacock.
You pay NBC that money.
Yeah. But let's talk about it a little bit. I mean, obviously,
the bloodline is full now.
Bloodline.
Roman's Universal and WWE champion. Usos are unified the tag team champions. Have kids crying on national television.
I'm just not. I get what they're doing with it, and I get why. I feel like if anyone's gonna do it, it should be them. But I think you create a stale product by pushing them so much to the top because it's like them. What's the end all? What's the end game for this? What do you think is it? What do you think the end game is for Roman being pushed so much?
I don't think there's an end game. I don't even know what they think. I don't even think they know what the end game is yet.
Yeah.
I think they're just running this because this is Roman's tearing through everybody. Like, even you got to think back in 04 and 05, 06, 07 when John Cena was Super Cena. Cena wasn't champion the whole time.
No.
Edge had his moments.
He took L's.
He won a ton of his matches, yes, but Edge cashes in after Elimination Chamber, takes the title, then they have one of the greatest feuds in wrestling history. Like Edge versus Cena is probably my favorite rivalry of all time.
Yeah, up to Randy Orton.
With Randy Orton, but even when the Randy Orton feud was going on, I wasn't paying attention to wrestling as much, so I think that might be why it is.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take L's. Like, the man hasn't been pinned in 2 years. And that's where you.
I mean, the past.
I need to be able to. I don't want to. I hate turning on to a premium event and knowing, okay, Roman's walking out against the champion.
I don't know.
There's no moment where you're like, oh, and your heart gets pounding, and you're sitting there like, oh, this isn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, even the whole WrestleMania match, Brock's not walking out of their champion.
And that's what I look back at is the past two WrestleManias I've watched. It's been the same thing. It's been Roman walking out and winning, and it's like
The Edge, was it Edge, Daniel Bryan,
yeah,
Roman at Mania last year? That was sick.
yeah, it was a good match.
Pin both of them.
Yeah.
Good for you. But we're here a year and 2 months later, and it hasn't changed. Like, it's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And Roman's changed his gimmick, and I know now he's the head of the chief of the table, or head
of the table,
fucking whatever it is.
Tribal chief.
God bless America. You have to get beat every once in a while.
Yeah. Like, make the story compelling.
Compelling, like, you have to have somebody get theirs, too.
Yeah.
Like, even with Brock, it wasn't him getting his, it was just the promos.
Yeah.
Roman doesn't lose. And even with, like, the Seth Rollins match, it was that Royal Rumble.
And, yeah.
Like, he doesn't beat him, he just chokes him out and gets DQ.
Roman didn't even... Roman lost that match, but then nothing came out of it.
No, he doesn't lose his title, so nobody cares.
Yeah. And it's, I'm like I said, I'm getting close to the point to where it's a very stale problem they're going to have. And
WWE has no idea what it's doing right now. They don't know what to do. They're cutting Sasha and Naomi out of all of their, like, have you seen that? Where they're cutting, they're cutting them out at the beginning of the shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like how they redid the entrances.
They cut Sasha and put Cody.
Yeah, they cut Sasha and Cody. Even Naomi got cut out.
Yeah. That, like
I thought it was a work at first personally, but now I really.
And this is where I go to, like, this is one of those rare moments in wrestling, because in wrestling, this does happen to where you have real, actual events, and I think this is a real event that can eventually turn into a work. Yeah, but right now, the way it's being executed,
Sasha and Naomi are not happy, and they do not want to be there right now.
So how do you feel about that? Because the more and more detail I get about
Sasha was at EDC.
Was she? Oh, yeah, Steve Aoki,
yeah. She was at EDC with Steve Aoki.
But the more and more I look at it, and the more I figure it out, like, I get their frustration with maybe, like, the tag team titles. And I get that.
Well, I think the only reason that they took the tag team titles was because they were promised title shots.
Which it sounded like they were going to get.
But not for a couple months.
Well, WrestleMania
was supposed to be, Naomi and Bianca?
And then Sasha and Ronda.
Sasha and Ronda? I forgot Ronda was the champion.
Yeah. But how I look at it, though, is, like, if we're mad about booking, like, what more can you do if you're... I get, like, they wanting to be a champion, and maybe like I said, we don't know how long Charlotte's going to be gone. We don't know what the women's division looks like.
Is she gone for right now?
She's getting married, I think. I think she's all getting married, so we don't know how long she's going to be gone for, So we don't know how long... Yeah. So Sasha would have been the prime contender as Bayley comes back.
Liv Morgan's
on Raw. She's doing the thing with Rhea...
is she part of Judgment Day?
Well, she's not part of Judgment Day. She's the opposite. So she's with Finn Balor and AJ Styles.
Too Sweet?
Yeah. She did it. Yeah, she did the Too Sweet. Yeah. She did the Too Sweet. So they're doing that thing right now. But Sasha would have been the most logical opponent. And that's why I look at it and I'm just like, if this is what you're getting pitched, we know how bad WWE can do at booking. This isn't the worst, but this is by far
better than 2013.
Yeah, but this is no bad. But if you tag team champions are getting booked to go against the Raw Women's Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion, so if you're mad upset because you're not going to win that match, but just think about it, you're getting more eyes on yourself because you're in the main event with the women's, both of you. When was the last time Naomi got a women's title shot?
Naomi wasn't even talked about until she won the tag team championship.
Yeah, and I mean, Sasha is Sasha.
Sasha's always been there.
Yeah, but I look at it and that's why I feel bad for Naomi. I feel like if anything, this is hurting Naomi the most. Because Sasha is going to be fine regardless.
Yes,
I think Sasha will be fine.
The shit end of it, but she's stuck by her girl, so
yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Exactly, because I feel like you could have had a good couple. You would have been against Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
You would against Bianca Belair, helped her push that title even further.
The EST.
the EST. I love Bianca too. EST. And it's like, I look at this too, and like, from a professional standpoint, let's look at it and be like, oh, people are mad because, like, oh, like, yeah, they walked out, but they didn't recall. But you look at it like, okay, look how all the booking changes now. If in my mind, if I'm WWE, and I had Bianca versus Ronda, and then I had Naomi versus Bianca. Now, because they're not there, okay, Asuka has to go and be
Asuka's in a feud
Bianca
with Lynch.
With Becky. Okay, so now that Asuka's with Bianca, where does that leave Becky? Okay, SmackDown's Women's Champion, Ronda.
What did they do?
What did they do with
They do
Ronda
another
now?
draft and move. And
No,
move
exactly.
Becky
So
back
who did they move
SmackDown?
with that? And then let's look at like the other two women that were. It was Nikki Cross and Doudrop. What did they do now? Because they were supposed to
They
have.
need to drop that Nikki ASH gimmick.
Oh yeah. Well, what's funny is I think the only reason I did that was because what's his name? Killian Cross, if that's right. Like they had the same last name, so that was the only reason they did. That was so they didn't have the same last name. And he's not even there anymore.
It's a bad gimmick.
Yeah. But I look at it from that standpoint, I'm just like, as a professional, like you kind of just did mess up the whole landscape of everything. So, what can you do?
What was it?
All right, so kind of going back to what we were talking about with this whole Nikki Ash, what she used to be.
Nikki Cross wasn't a bad character, but the Nikki Ash needs to go.
I think it serves purpose. Like, it was a cool little thing, and then it just kind of...
She won Money in the Bank and then cashed in the next day and won the title, and then it got taken away from her a week later. Like, what was the point of even having the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Sorry, premium fucking event. But
That is, yeah. And I look at, like, that's kind of like the booking of WWE. And I mean, we'll get more into this definitely when we get Adrian on the podcast, because...
that man knows more than both of us.
Well, he'll add a little bit more of a dynamic to it, but, like, there's a lot of things wrong with booking. So what would you say, like, what would you want to see more of as, like, we know we have a lot of part-timers right now. So, like, what's your take on, like, would you even consider Edge a part-timer right now? Because Edge has been there every week for the most part.
There's no chance he's
Yeah.
a part-timer. He's there every week. He's a leader of a faction. He's been in every premium event since before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Since
Royal Rumble,
Because remember, no, even before Rumble, because remember he was there for the Saudi Arabia match against Rollins and Hell in a Cell. He had the whole Rollins feud before that, so Edge, there's no chance Edge is a part-timer. He's been there been doing way too many events for him to be considered a part-timer.
Yeah.
What was the month that they said Cena was going to come back? June,
July.
July.
Like, yeah.
Because that'll be fun. We actually get a full Cena run, not just summer of Cena.
Summer Cena was cool though, because he was there for like almost there a month and a half. Yeah, 2 months
almost.
Yeah.
So I'll get pinned at SummerSlam. I wasn't happy.
We were there. We were there. Hey, but that was a good matchup because like there was moments where you were just like, oh shit, he could win this.
The AA from the top rope is Super AA.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened.
Yeah.
But I think if we happen to go back to Allegiant Stadium, and hopefully this time their fucking beer crack doesn't crash down, so I can't buy beer after the first 45 minutes of the fucking show.
Yeah, just sit through friggin' Damian Priest.
God bless America, bro. I'm sitting here. I love wrestling as much as the next guy, but 3.5 hours of just seeing these men slam each other on the thing, and I'm like sober at this point. Like, dude, we got to do something here, bro.
That shit.
Brock coming out was cool, but I think if we go back, Money in the Bank's a cool pay-per-view to see. Even if it's not nothing crazy happens, I think that's one of the pay-per-views that'll be like fun to watch.
It's a good match to watch.
It'll be fun to watch. They always have good stuff. The Money in the Banks are always entertaining, no matter what. And Run Lux, we're back up.
Run Lux, we're back up on our bets.
Me and Reed gonna get broke again.
That was that Tropicana or was it
Next Door, Excalibur?
Excalibur, yeah, with Excalibur.
John was like, I'm going to go buy a beer. You think you have time before I get back? I was like, oh, bro, we're sitting here for a minute. John was gone for maybe 15 minutes and came back. We're like, yeah, time to go back to the hotel room. We are broke.
Shift change. It was a damn shift change.
Shift change. Vibes did not match. I wanted to stay, but my money didn't want to stay. So we had to leave.
That Money to Make would be a good pay-per-view to go to. As far as, like, where do you want to see kind of booking go? Like, we're kind of like at the stands with Roman and everything
I think
like that.
we're running into the Roman and Rock at WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody's expecting. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Like, they even said it on what Young Rock is what it was.
Yeah.
And they said a match like that could only be at the
WrestleMania.
Granddaddy or whatever it's called. Which I get it. Give that.
But does that mean the title?
Literal bloodline. I hope it doesn't mean the title because we don't need to see Rock as world champion. But I don't see in any way, shape, or form that Roman loses to the Rock.
Well, because like,
but then we said that about Cena losing to the Rock. We didn't think the Rock would come back and beat Cena.
Yeah,
and he definitely beat Cena.
But I look at it too, and at the time, what was it? Punk was champion. That's when he was going through his run. And I think he faced Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So. But I look at it, I'm just like, it's always good to have title matches on there. Like, if you have a big enough draw, to where like they don't need to have a title.
But when they even have when the WrestleMania goes on and the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title, neither of them are on the card. Like, God bless. And I get the whole Jackass, the Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
fantastic, funny comedy.
I could get putting talent in positions to where like you're gonna get that draw.
Because who are the champions right now?
Ricochet, I think, and then
was Ricochet IC?
I think he's IC.
Because Finn Balor was IC.
No, Finn Balor was United States.
Because Theory
is now
US. I don't know who's Intercontinental.
I think it's still Ricochet still. I don't think Ricochet lost. It sounds.
I think Ricochet lost.
Well, he hasn't really defended it. I know when WrestleMania was going on, Ricochet was champion. I don't feel like he's lost it.
That's just how bad WWE is.
Yeah,
right now. The fact that we don't know who the champions are.
Yeah. But like, no, I look at the world title. Like we look at like the last event they did, where it was great match though. The 3-man tag team, Bloodline versus RK Bro.
What was the last one that just happened? WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah,
I watched it on pay-per-view. I thought it was good.
Yeah, that was a great match.
Good. That tag team at the end was fantastic.
Yeah, but no championships are online. You have the Universal and the WWE.
I thought that was for the unification, but I mean that makes sense. That it wasn't.
And then they just unified the titles yesterday or Friday with
Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, with the Usos winning it. So I was looking at it and I'm just like, you have all these title matches, but Roman hasn't defended his title since WrestleMania, which is almost 2 months now. We're almost 2 months.
So what's the next pay per view?
Hell in a Cell, but he's not. There's no match on there. Yeah. So like that's what I look at. I'm just like, what are you trying to do like with this character?
What do you
like? Are you trying to make him the greatest of all time? Because if you're trying to make him the greatest of all time, like, cool, I get it, but you realize you're taking away from the rest of your product.
Nobody else can flourish. Like, there's other people that need runs. Like, Kevin Owens deserves a run.
Yeah, I think Drew
could have a run.
Yeah,
I mean, Drew had a run a couple years ago when that was.
Drew had a run, but there was no fans. Yeah,
it was COVID.
No fans. Shoot, you could make argument Randy Orton. Randy Orton can take a run.
I think Orton's done it enough. I think he'll have another title in his.
Orton's done enough
in his future. Yeah, he'll have another title run, but I think right now I would rather give the run to Riddle.
I would say Orton will be in a good run in the sense that he would be good for someone to take the title off of him. Like, Orton's good enough to where he could take the title off of somebody, but then let's say someone beat him, it's a believable enough accomplishment that he could push the other star.
Yes.
I think Orton's that. Like, Orton's, no one's going to sit here and be like, Randy Orton's not good anymore. Like, when Orton's paid his dues, like, he'll always be that name. He's always going to be that name.
Yeah, there's always going to be.
That you can have on there.
Yeah.
But I look at where the state of it right now, and it's just like, I would say...
I want something new.
Yeah.
And I think the worst thing that happened was that they unified the titles.
Yeah.
Now we have one man that doesn't defend it that much, having both of them. Instead of at least... Like, Bobby Lashley wasn't a great champion, no.
I think in his first run he was.
Yes,
I think in his first run, yeah. The second run was kind of whatever.
It off. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Should have been Keith Lee.
Who?
Bearcat Keith Lee.
Bearcat? Keith Lee? I'm not someone Keith Lee. I'm not Keith Lee. I used to be, because I saw how much in-ring work he would do. But the dude is just very, very bland.
Yeah.
He's very, very bland. And I get, like, him... He's trying to do a character in promos with, like, how, like, he articulates his words and stuff like that. But it doesn't translate to what he is. Like, I think I saw a little promo from AEW, and it was, like, Ricky Starks. Literally, I was like, all right, that's enough from Rex from Toy Story.
Yeah.
And that's pretty on point, like... Yeah.
But,
so,
you know, well, it'll work out. Roman's got to lose one of the titles, though.
Yeah.
I don't like how he doesn't defend either of them. Like,
yeah.
There's been a WWE Championship or Universal Championship match in 2 months.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not good business. Like, when you're main guying, as good as Roman is, like, Roman's doing great, but the fact of the matter is, like, you protected him so much.
But you think it's because he got hurt at Mania? Well, but he wrestled and he just wrestled.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, but, like, you could still do a match.
He just wrestled.
You could still do a match. He's been doing live events. He didn't. That's why everyone thought he was leaving, or like that he was taking time off. Yeah. So just like he's not doing them. So he can. No, I don't think he's hurt. No. I think it's just.
I think he might have been hurt the first week after.
Yeah,
He might have had a sore shoulder.
Which, fair enough. Like, yeah, take your time off. Get like, don't you don't have to wrestle crazy, but dude, we're 2 months almost away from WrestleMania, and we're not getting anything. And I thought it was more on booking than necessarily Roman.
All right, I'm tired of talking about Roman Reigns.
No more Roman Reigns.
Yeah, fuck him.
So let's finish it off. So, if there's any matches you could have right now, what match would you want to see
of all time, or just right now?
So I'll give you options. You could do all time, and you can do currently with like the wrestling right
rostered.
Now. Yeah.
God bless America. If I could have a match right now with no stipulations, just straight up, I got Edge versus AJ Styles. The one at Backlash was better than the one at Mania, for sure.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
But God bless, I don't know.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Because look how many wrestlers there are now.
There's
so many.
I mean, if you could do like cross-rostered, if you could bring like AEW stars over.
Yeah, that's fine. You can and it's any active wrestler right now. Like it can't be like Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels isn't wrestling, but like any person that's actively wrestling in the world right now.
Hangman Page and Edge.
And Edge? Okay. Hangman Page and Edge, that's not bad. Hangman Page is so good.
So good. Promos are not that great, but the wrestling, God bless, it just makes up for it.
Yeah, Hangman Page is so good. Okay. I will sit here and say this. I like that. If I could do like pure wrestling ability, pure storyline, pure just relationship wise, give me Seth Rollins versus Jon Moxley.
Oh yeah.
Give me Seth Rollins versus Jon Moxley.
Rollins.
Yeah, give me Seth Rollins versus Jon Moxley.
I didn't like Rollins for a long time. I love Rollins.
I didn't like Rollins, but Rollins, like, he just delivers.
God, he sells too.
Delivers. Promo work, match, like you said, sell-wise, ring psychology.
The feud he's got going with Cody right now is sick.
Ring psychology. Dude, like, I'll say that there's a handful of people that really, really understand ring psychology. Randy Orton's right there at the top of the line. Seth Rollins right there.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is right there. And then I think just the history they have with the Shield, the in-ring ability. I feel like the characters are so similar, but yet so opposite. They're so chaotic. They're so like out there. And that the promos, the storyline, you could tell with those two would be just crazy.
Who's the heel and who's the face?
That's the great thing about that. You don't know.
You have no idea.
You don't know.
I have no idea.
You don't know, and that adds to the storyline. It's just like, who the hell do I root for?
Or even the one that even like the most basic answer, you could have MJF and The Miz. The promos alone would carry that.
I would say this. I like MJF. I think he's the ideal bad guy, just like how Miz is.
Yeah.
So they're going against each other. It's like almost like, well, what's gonna happen? But are they just gonna turn to each other?
Yes.
Essentially,
100%.
Okay. They're gonna turn to each other.
Mamas.
So it'll be Yo Mama Fest?
Pretty much. Well, it's more than that.
Alright, cool.
I'm not a great promo guy.
No.
I wouldn't last.
Mr. Clint?
Nah.
You! Alright, so let's go all time then. All time. What would you do?
There's too much. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe instead of who...
This is the one match I feel like that got... They did it, but they did it way too late, and it was like... It was more fan service than it necessarily was.
John Cena, Undertaker.
Yep.
If it would have... I saw something about it on, I think, Twitter, that instead of when Undertaker won that Rumble, he should have picked Cena over Batista. That Cena-Taker feud for those, however many months it was, those 4 or 5 months, would have been insane.
Yeah.
Not saying that the Undertaker-Batista feud was bad, because it wasn't. But Cena versus Undertaker, at both of their primes, would have been fucking epic.
That would have been
fucking epic.
That would have been one of those things to where you truly don't know. And like I said, the Batista feud wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
And I think it was still respectable, but like because at that time John Cena was the guy.
John Cena was the guy.
John Cena was the guy.
What was he at that point? 40 years old.
Yeah,
he was still the man,
that.
bro.
Yeah. And it's like, if you do that match then, or like even like a year after, or like, I would say like, if you do that match before 2011, 2012,
Yeah, because didn't they have a WrestleMania match?
they did like 2016.
And
This,
then
this was
Cena
like,
got squashed, right?
so this was right after Roman beat him. So remember everyone thought Taker was done because he looked so bad against Roman, and Roman beat him.
They squashed Cena.
Yeah, and
It's
then,
like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever.
It was like a 5-minute match. It wasn't like bad, but like it wasn't like what they could have been.
It could have been.
There was no build to it.
35-minute slobber knock.
There was no build to it. Like Cena basically like for like the whole time just carried the whole thing, and in particular shit at WrestleMania. So like there was no build up to it. It was just complete, just like, okay, we're having this match now.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one match that in a WrestleMania environment,
2007,
like I said, anytime before 2011, 2012.
Dude, even 2007 though, bro.
Yeah, I would have been that bill. Yeah.
The Dead Man.
But what was WrestleMania that?
It was, instead of that, it was Cena versus Shawn Michaels 2.
So at 24, it was when Cena did that weird freaking triple threat. I think with like Big Show and Edge,
which was also fucking awesome because Cena lifted Edge and Big Show on his shoulders.
Which, like I said, that's a great memory. But like during that, like any time in that time would have been great to do that.
I thought they did Shawn Michaels 2 that year.
They did Shawn Michaels 25. So Shawn Michaels 25, 26.
No.
Yeah.
Who was 23? Shawn Michaels.
23 was for John Cena. 23 was Shawn Michaels for Cena. No, I'm talking about 25
for
Cena.
Well, I'm so, okay. So 21 is JBL.
Yeah.
22 is H. 23 was
Shawn.
Michael, and 24 was Shawn.
No, 23 was Michaels. 24
but
for
they
Cena.
Did it, that's what I'm saying. Yes, I think they did it.
I don't know.
Years.
No, I think 24 was. Well, I think that was the year that Flair retired. Was that the Flair match? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love you.
Yeah.
Super kick.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I think that was that match. And then, it was the year after was the Undertaker match. And then the 26th was the retirement match.
Cena versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Who wins that match, though?
I'm fine with Undertaker winning that match. Cena don't need that. Cena don't need that.
I think they would have given it to Cena no matter what back then because Undertaker's such a huge jobber guy. And he's cool with losing. And then that would have just made Cena even more Cena back then.
It would have, but...
Then he would have... But... Another thing that bugs me about, I'm sorry to go back to the jobbing and the booking of WWE, that the fact that they didn't let John Cena retire Kurt Angle.
Oh,
and they told him
he wanted
no,
that match.
And he wanted
Kurt
that
wanted
match.
that match, yeah.
And they told him no, and then he got... By who?
Baron Corbin. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pat McAfee. Dumbass Baron Corbin. Oh, God. Pat McAfee's maybe my favorite commentator. Besides JR in his prime.
Yeah.
King, I would take Pat over King.
Oh, yeah.
I like Taz a lot.
Taz was cool. Taz
was cool. Yeah. But, I don't know. McAfee's got some energy to him.
Because McAfee enjoys what he's doing.
He loves
McAfee enjoys what he's doing.
That is true.
McAfee enjoys what he's doing. But, yeah, that was some good stuff. So, you say match on Taker versus Cena?
Cena, 100%.
Yeah.
That's Cena versus Taker. I mean, there's
so many.
A million different matches you could name right there, but if I could see one that I really wanted to see, Taker versus
I know there's a lot of Stone Cold possibilities, but like I look at if there's a match I wanted to see that I feel like I missed out on that I could have saw, it would be Taker versus Cena. Like on the what ifs.
So if you had an era to choose to be alive in for wrestling, what era would you choose?
Oh, I think Attitude Era.
100%.
I think Attitude Era. Like Ruthless Aggression was cool.
Ruthless Aggression was good.
But I think just...
It's what we grew up on.
Yeah, Ruthless Aggression was cool, but I think if you just look at, like...
There's
Stone
nothing
Cold,
that ever beats Attitude Era.
Yeah.
But isn't it crazy that AJ Styles has been in WWE longer than The Rock was in WWE?
It is and it isn't. Like, I think we look at it now because I was actually just listening because I was trying to get ready for our podcast with Adrian. So I was listening and, like, look at Stone Cold's run. Stone Cold's only at the top for 5 years. 98 to freaking... So look at it. Stone
98 to 03. Shit, he was barely there in
04. And he was hurt 1 year for a whole year because of his neck.
Yeah, shout
and
out
then
to
and then
was it Owen Hart that broke his neck?
Yeah, the pile driver. Yeah,
great job. I don't want to say he got his, but he got his. Rest in peace.
Yeah. R.I.P. So he was out. So Stone Cold was out for that year. So he realistically had like 3.5 years.
Yeah, but goddamn, those 3.5 years. There's more memories in those 3.5 years than there's been in the last. I don't want to say 20 years. That's wrong. But the last 10 years.
So I'll give a little sneak peek to what to expect when we talk about Adrian.
Yes.
But I look at wrestling, and we can agree to disagree on this, but I don't look at that pure wrestling ability as great as to be a wrestler. I think
the Ruthless Aggression had better wrestling, but the Attitude Era had better everything else.
Well, then this is like the great debate right now, and I look at it as like a lot of people are like, oh, well, like you watch matches now, they're not that great, but it's like if I don't really care about a match, if I don't care who's in it, or I don't have any connection to that match, why am I going to watch it? Like how many times, like we can say it's like how many good wrestlers are in WWE, but we don't watch the match because we don't give a fuck who they are.
Yeah.
Okay, they could be great wrestlers. Like like honestly, like NXT and Indies. Okay, how great was the wrestling in there? But how many times did you go watch?
Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah. But how many times did you go sit down and be like, hey, I'm gonna sit down and watch that?
Never.
Exactly.
Adrian did.
Okay, Adrian did.
100%
That is a very like specific niche of people. There's only so many people in their world that are gonna go on a Tuesday or Wednesday night and sit there and watch wrestling without any kind of connection. And so that's why I look at it and I'm just like, as a character, like you look at this is where the best character work was done. It was an Attitude Era. Stone Cold.
The promos.
The story.
Ballsiness. They could do whatever they wanted.
Vince McMahon was probably one of the worst people to ever be in the ring. But the man got over because people despised him.
Because he played the bad guy so fucking
Because he despised the character. So, still a sneak peek into that next that podcast once we have Adrian on here,
which should be next Sunday.
Hopefully,
unless, Adrian's Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian decides
typical Adrian
to get a cold again.
Typical Adrian.
Typical Adrian.
All right.
Is that why you choke slammed him off the Hell in a Cell?
That's another preview for next week.
All right. Well, that's all for this episode. Good to have you on, Mr. Clint.
John, thank you.
We'll be back on soon.
Hopefully.
More frequently.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday you'll be on, and I'm sure you'll be on here in the future.
Yeah.
We gotta get you with the Shiloh episode.
Oh yeah.
We gotta get you on here with the Shiloh episode.
Bring over Tyrone.
I will.
All right.
I will gladly. All right, guys. Till next time. Later.
Later.